Okay, so I'm gonna make a suggestion,
Mm-hmm.
just because it will make me feel better that I said it. I believe that you need to go for the automated analysis on your personal debt, because you have so much debt. Anytime I have somebody that's over 500,000, which is several, but they usually have larger cash flows.
Mm-hmm.
When you do this without your bonuses, your balance is still growing. The automated system will stop that interest so that that's not continuing to grow. So it'll take your interest of these credit cards that are 21%, even your home at 3% is really about 60%.
Mm-hmm.
So it will take those interest rates and bring them down to about 2%. So now all of your income is actually hitting your principal.
Okay.
So I would make that suggestion. If you have any desire to do that, I'll be free to, or if you want to see a webinar, there's a free one tonight they're having, so you could just watch and see what it is.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of this. What is it?
Yeah. It's
What?
called the automated system. It's Velocity, but it's an automated where they set up all of your debt as it is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And your income, and then the computer uses an algorithm to determine when a payment needs to hit an account and on what date and what amount. Then it avoids the interest that you would, like here, you're going to pay interest.
Mm-hmm.
There, they're going to show you, it's all automated. So it just tells you, hey, you need to make a payment today on this date.
Okay.
That is beautiful in itself, but I think that you would be quite impressed when you see how that works for you. So that might be an idea.
But it's not like a debt consolidation.
No, nothing. It's going to do nothing but increase your credit score. It will not hurt it. It's nothing like that. That leaves it's not even invasive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a system that sets everything up for you. And that's what I was saying. At least listen to it and see what you think. And I can get you a free analysis as well. So they would tell you what it would actually do for you. So I just went looking for that because I have people that sometimes can't get lines of credit and stuff. They can use this system because it doesn't care what your credit score is or anything else.
So even with like knowing that I do bring in probably about 800 to 1,000 in extra, do you see that's, I mean, can I do it with the way you have your worksheet here, or is it just?
Well, you can, but you're going to have to do another avenue because this is gaining. And even when you say you do 1,000, let's say you get $1,000 bonus, are they consistent? Like, do you know how much you're going to get from paycheck to paycheck, or however it comes, or what?
I've been making about an extra 20,000 a year in bonuses.
Okay.
Over the last 5 years. So
okay.
I'm anticipating that to be true this year. And so in the past, instead of saving or paying off debt, I'm trying to make put a plan together, use all that extra money specifically for debt payment. So
right. Okay. And that'll work just great. Don't get me wrong. But as far as me being able to like set and actually figure out how that's going to work for you, that's what makes it a little tough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't make the determination if I don't know exacts, and if you don't know exacts.
So with this program, it'll just factor in my base pay without the bonus. I'll still come out ahead. Yes,
that's what's amazing about the system, because like I said, if you're knocking off most of the interest, now all of your money is going to actually pay on the principal amounts. Mm-hmm. That's the difference it makes. It's worth you watching it just to see. Okay, that being said, if I were going to work with your numbers outside of the system, which is going to cost you the same, that's another thing I always think anymore is getting into a larger line of credit would help you, but it's expensive to go into, a larger, like a HELOC. It's going to cost you some money. So the automated system costs you about the same. But that being said, if you went and were able to get a HELOC, for example, and your home is at $750,000 times the first lien HELOC, I don't know if you've heard me talk about that, but it's where it takes over your mortgage and now your loan becomes a line, the whole $648,000 would.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of your income would go in, all of your expenses would come out. Now, that being said, they would give you, if you qualified, which you have a credit score over 700, you have plenty of income, your value of your home may cause the problem because that's going to leave you about $25,000 that you can use. So let's say that you paid off your personal loan and your USAA visa. Let's say you paid off those two. That would gain you 900, approximately 1,000 in cash flow, paying those two off.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever else you could get that would be small in that amount. But let's say you paid those two off, you gained 1,000 in cash flow. You gained your monthly payment on your house as well. So let's see how much that's going to be. The interest would be high on that at the start as well. You'd really have to be throwing a lot of money in there.
And this is only factoring like my income.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I got my wife to contribute $1,000 a month on top of
Okay.
on a consistent basis.
Let's look at that. Let's say that let's start with your 30,000, and we're going to say that your income. Let's take it up to like 8,000 a month.
Yeah.
That way it shows your bonus and your wife, okay? So let's say 8,000 goes in income, and then you're at 22,000. Then you have the 6,600 come out in expenses, 28,600. Then you have your interest, which, what did I figure that was?
280.
Yeah, 280.
Is that the interest for the USAA?
No, that's the interest on this.
Oh, okay.
At 12%. This one would come down ever so bit. Let's say you've got 28. So if you've got an additional 1,200 here every month, if you had $1,000 a month, for example, that could go into, like, could be paid. So let's say this would be your food. You have 500, and then your car gas. Let's say it's 100. And then you have car insurance. I'm just making some up, 400. So let's say that's $1,000 a month that you already pay in expenses. Mm-hmm. Your card payment is $750 according to your worksheet.
Yeah.
So when this 1,000 income goes in to cover these, this is satisfied. Now you're putting your expenses and your income to cover those expenses, and now this becomes cash flow that can sit in here until you're ready to make a chunk onto this. Does that make sense?
So tackling two lines at the same time?
Yes.
Putting the $1,000 in the USAA every month.
But then see, the 1,000 will come out of here to pay this 1,000 every month. So this covers these chargeable expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But see, it's already in this.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to add this. So what comes here next is your income again. So your income of 6,600.
Or is it 8,000? Or no?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. 8,000. Now we're down to 20,880. This right here literally would be $750 less because you're no longer making this $750 payment anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we change that up now, and 5850 is your new amount. So you put in 5850, and then you're going to add, let's say, 200 in interest. So you're at 26,930. Then you put in the 8,000 again. So this is income 3. You're at 18,930 in your third month. Right here, then, you could take and add an extra 1,000 to this to be working this one down. Like every 2 months, if you put in an extra 1,000, you're going to be working that down too.
Yeah.
So this at 18,930, let's see what that would take to pay this off. If you did the 8,000 income. So in 11 months, this would be practically paid off. And then you're also working this one down as well.
11 months? The 30,000 will be paid off?
Yeah, if you do this system.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, with your wives, and so the 8,000 extra. I mean,
because like my check this month was 8,000 with the bonus alone.
So you could probably be out of debt in about 6 months. with your bonuses and everything going in here, right? I'm just
Okay.
giving you a wild example of, if you had extra income.
So if once I get my wife to contribute $1,000, I'll just use that to go directly to paying the USAA credit card. That's basically the only difference. We're paying down the USAA credit card. We're using it for we're using it for food and gas and all that stuff.
Yeah. Now, if you can just let her donate 1,000 and then, put it in here first, then
Yeah.
transfer the 1,000 over, yeah, you're going to win all the way around.
Yeah, because because she makes as much as me, but it's just that's my debt. So I wanted to take care of myself, but I think she would be open to helping me, get out of it faster. So if I could just let her know if an extra $1,000 would get me out of debt in a year.
Yeah, on that. Now, the automated system, again, when it sets you up, and say it sets you up on the base,
Mm-hmm.
let's say that you went in there and you gave them your list of debt, and then you told them, okay, I'm going to apply $500 a month. I'm going to say $500 a month is my additional cash flow. That's with or without your wife. So that could be with your bonuses or whatever. So let's say you went in and they set up the system based on that, and then you got a bonus every now and again, and they reapplied the bonus, which reset the thing, which reanalyzed and gave you all new payoff dates, which they do give you a guaranteed payoff date. So you're going to know how long it's going to take you from today to pay off your debt. Then they would put in your bonuses as they come in. They would reset everything, give you a new guaranteed payoff date.
Okay.
You might be looking at less than, how many years do you have left on that mortgage?
We've all been here 5 years, I think. So
Okay, so you might have a payoff of 12 years, I mean, it just depends on, I'm thinking you've got more like an 8-year payoff, but just knowing how that system works, I wouldn't know until you entered the numbers. And then it only gets better with each bonus that you get and you apply as well.
Or more money my wife contributes to paying off.
Yeah.
Because I think she would be happy to, if I told her,
right,
if you gave me an extra $2,000, we could pay off the mortgage in 8 years. I think that
if I were you, I would go in with your numbers just as they set.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell them that you're paid bi-weekly, what your escrow is on your home, and that you have $96 of cash flow. I would go in like that, and I'll bet you're going to be so surprised at how fast you're going to get out of debt.